Dude, I have no idea when it became so difficult to talk to myself because I have no problem doing it in public in front of strangers, but the second I sit down in my bedroom alone in front of a camera, my mind is like an empty Word doc. There is nothing there. But I really want to create and I want you to join me, so we're just gonna do it. On that note, hello, I'm Sophia. It's nice to meet you. We're gonna make some very sturdy accessories today. I drew up a few designs last night. I'm not sure if they're gonna work because I haven't done anything like this. But if you're seeing this, that's a good sign. Here's what I have in mind for today. I think I'm gonna start with a belt because it seems fairly easy. Well, they all low-key resemble belts, but I think I'm gonna start with the corset belt and then move on. I use these clippers. I've posted in my other video. These two are my favorite pliers. Needle nose guys. They are loyal hoes. I want to make bigger hoops today, so I'm going to use my dowel that's 3/4 of an inch. It's too big to fit in my drill, so I just cut it down. But it requires a little more patience and attention when you're using it because this can make it a little lopsided when it spins, so just be really careful with your hands if you're doing this. If you don't have gloves, it's okay. I'm just clumsy. Take your wire. You know the drill. I'm just going to flatten a bunch of it out. I haven't shaved in a while. No one say a word. And I don't need that much today because we're not making chainmail or anything. Who would do that? Weird. Today's not my day. Sometimes you just don't do well. Sometimes you do a bad job. Oh no. It's okay, I have a bunch of spares. It's fine, everything's fine, it's fine. It's a major screw up, but lucky for me, I'm usually more successful with this, so here's one of my other ones, and I'm just gonna chop this guy up. So I'm gonna start with the cousin of the garter belt, we're just gonna call it that. It feels well within my realm, so we can do that. I think we'll only need 6 jump rings for this, so here they are, cut them up. Next I just figure out where the heck I want this to sit. And I'm going to use pliers with a cone shape at the end of them so I can easily twist the ends of the wire. Something like this. And then you just close your over. I'm just going to eyeball it. We're going to do 8 inches onto these little jump rings. And that will be the front portion. So the next parts have to be symmetrical, so I have to pay a little more attention. The first O-ring is going to be right around here. And the second O-ring I want right around here. Snip! Open up this little jump ring of ours. So let's see how this fits. I made this section a little too long, I think, but that's okay because I'm gonna cut it anyway and add pearl. It's fine, we're winging it. I'm not high strung, I'm not a control freak. Who told you that? I'm just gonna add the pearls now because I want to. So I went through this phase in high school where I bought a ton of mason jars like any other basic, and no hate on that at all. I just didn't know what to do with them for years. Now that I'm making ridiculous things all the time, I have plenty of things to fill these jars with. I also saw a bag of pink pearls, which I don't know how I resisted buying. They were in my cart for a while, and I dropped them off last minute because I was cheap, and I actually didn't know what to do with these yet. I bought so many faux pearls, but I figured I'll just buy a bunch of white ones in different sizes so I can make large-scale projects that are all monochromatic. Because no, I should have bought the pink ones. Pink and white would be so cool. I'm going back. Correction, if this goes well, I'm going back. So the wire I'm using is 14 gauge steel wire. It's the same stuff I've been using. I wish hardware stores sold gold wire. I don't know why that's not an option. Steel isn't necessarily gold or anything, but what a vibe. And if anyone likes beading, you're invited to my house because this takes a while. Close for me. And I actually fit it perfectly. I'm not gonna lie, it's beautiful. Kind of reminds me of those worms everyone has, those like cloth felt ones. I never went through that phase in my childhood, and that's my only regret in life. I'm gonna look pretty well beading for a minute so I can use this for TikTok. Here we go. Ready? Alright, I'm gonna give you a break from my rambling. I'll jump back on when I finish beading. Just finished shaping the waist portion. It does take a minute to feel it out. I had to chop each side off a little bit. Next, I'm going to make the little loopy bits off the side. I'm just gonna feel it. Once again, we're gonna eyeball it. There are pearls all over it. Oof. It's hard to figure out how this will lay, so I'm actually gonna make the hooks now. Body jewelry like this gets kind of heavy, so instead of using lobster clasps and spring clasps and all that, I make my hook. I'm just gonna take my wire, bend it into this, and then I'm gonna take a flat pair of pliers and do something similar, but not close it. So I'm gonna use the white as part of it, so I have a little space, and then I'm literally just gonna turn it around. So it should look something like this. You can adjust it all you want. I'm gonna sand this down. Okay, sorry for the weird angle, but I have an update for you. So, ooh, you're falling. For me? Sorry. Okay, here's my update. So I'm starting to feel this, ooh, it's too too low. It's kind of a weird angle, so I'll just include a picture here, or a video or whatever, so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm trying it with chain. I think I like it, but I might switch over to a smaller size of the wire look. It has much more structure than the chain. But for those of you adding in your like little loops, if you're doing it with, this might be common sense, but when it comes to the O-rings, it should go waistband, long one, short one, waistband, short one, long one, waistband. Okay, so I just finished this little belt thing. I really love how it turned out. I think I'm gonna shoot for the belt over the bustier because it seems a little easier based on what I have made in the past. So I'm gonna make that. Alright, I'm gonna walk you through how I bend this wire. Normally I start at the top, but I want these to be symmetrical. So I'm gonna start in the middle and then trim off whatever excess I have. And bend it in a perfect circle, something like this. Flip it right down the middle like that. Do the same thing on the other side. So it should reach that like this halfway point. And then I just kind of flatten the whole thing a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna bend this around to the front, ideally. I'm gonna need you to come up a bit. Come on up. Alright, I'm pretty happy with it. It should look something like this. Alright. Here's what I have now. So the belt thus far has been way easier to make. I made these little bits. I want the belt to be triple stacked, and so I made 3 little bits. And I already added the clasp and everything just so I can make sure it fits me and keep checking along the way. So right now I'm working on the top tier. And the way I made sure it was even, I counted out the pearls on each side. So I went with 24, 24, 24, 24. After a somewhat embarrassing amount of time, I finished. And I am so, I'll put it here, happy with how it turned out. Oh my gosh. And I made this little choker to go along with it. So this was time consuming, but it was the first time I've made something like this, and usually I plan things out a little better, but I'm so happy with the result. I'm so happy with it. Yeah, this was really fun to make, I gotta tell ya. I mean, wire, malleable, we all know that, but also versatile. It's great news. You make your own, send me a picture, and if you don't want to make it, that's okay. I'll make it for you. Probably for a price, because a girl needs to eat. But let me know. I really like making stuff for you guys, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna go before I say anything else embarrassing. Goodbye.